They did it. They done fucked it up. Wearing the appropriate shirt. What the fuck is this shite? I knew it. I knew that they would ship Galadriel and Sauron. I knew this shit was coming. They would ship Galadriel and Sauron. I was like, no, come on. This
Last
isn't.
Jedi, man.
This isn't true. Yeah, what? Oh, dude. This is Rise of Skywalker, Joe. This is both of them combined and worse. If you love the Tolkien lore, if you're a book reader, it is fucking garbage. It is butchering the lore. It is a travesty. It is disgusting. It is, what the fuck did you do to my favorite thing? And let's say you don't give a shit about the lore. The fucking writing is so pathetic. Okay, so oh my god. So you're allowed one cliffhanger. Right? And the rest, you have to have a nice, satisfying conclusion. So before we actually get to the episode, how many arcs and motivations and fucking where things are going in the future do we need to solve? We need to solve the Harfoots, the Elves, the Dwarves, the Dwellers, Numenor. We need the Stranger. We need Halbrand. We need Galadriel. We need Theo. We need Arendir. We need Adar. We need Isildur and his sister. That's just 12! 12 things and more than that probably. So what is this episode? Is it a final large episode? No, it is 60 minutes, not counting the credits. You're telling me you're going to give me 60 minutes? You're going to rush through the whole thing? This thing felt so fucking rushed. In Rings of Power, we haven't had a goddamn Rings of Power, and then dude walks in the room, does the Rings of Power, and pieces out. So if there's 4 plot lines in this last episode, you got 60 minutes. What is that? That's 15 minutes to try to resolve each one of these fucking 4 plot lines. It's like kids when they're like rush their homework at the last fucking minute. That's what this fucking felt like, man. I'm gonna stop there because I want to hear from Alex. After seeing this, I was like, what the fuck is Alex gonna say? Alex, tell me what do you think about the final episode?
You know what I think about this. You paid me money and you said, hey, you know that big bowl of shit over there I've been making you taste every single week? I need you to go over there and taste it again. And it's still a big bowl of shit.
Yeah, but this time the shit is surrounded by diarrhea, pee, baby shat, and fucking
it still
corn.
Tastes bad, man. Like, I mean,
no, this tastes worse.
I think this is this is exactly what I expected. Right? We had a longer Harfoot goodbye than we had Sauron making the Rings of Power. And not only did he not make the Rings of Power, they made him independently of him. He didn't make any fucking rings.
How many fucking times did the Harfoot say goodbye, Alex?
I don't know. Too many.
Oh man, I want to see you rage, Alex. You just look fucking depressed, man.
Yeah.
For what?
worse.
For your
He's depressed.
favorite fucking fantasy, lore and franchise and.
There are things that are worth getting upset about.
No, this is worth getting upset about.
When people who aren't talented and who aren't passionate get a hold of something and they signed over a large sum of money. The estate signed off on this, right? They gave them $1 billion and said, "Hey, motherfucker, we're gonna ruin something." They're like, "You gonna give me how many zeros? Fuck it, let's go." That's what the Rings of Power of Amazon is. The rings are the number of zeros they wrote to Tolkien's estate to piss on it, right? That is what this is. And so we got nothing. All the things that were written in the goddamn appendices were better than all of this. This actually, what's kind of funny is, I was watching this episode and I'm completely, I don't care about any of this anymore. This episode, had it been stretched into 10 episodes, would have been an okay, bad fan fiction version of the Second Age to the start, right? The start of the War of Elves and Sauron.
In here.
Yeah, I mean, he walks in to the second greatest elven smith of all time. Second greatest, right? Only to his grandfather who created the Silmarils, the most important things, ever. And then he goes, "Have you tried mixing metals?" And the guy's like, "Oh shit, I've never tried mixing metals before."
Alloys and
then he does, "Call it a gift." Wink, wink. And he looks over like The Office, and then like the fucking
and it's the camera. He looks to the camera. Anatar, we're not allowed to use it. But I did
too. He's like, "I'm a lord. Here's a gift."
Anatar, the Lord of Gifts.
Don't sue me. I also liked when fucking Slamdolf looks directly at the camera and goes, "I am good."
I'm good.
He's like, "Holy shit."
He is. I am good. good the writing in this.
It was great, man. It's so
And
funny.
then, and then if you think, oh, but Joe, he's a kind old stranger, and then the next scene, he is the most eloquent motherfucker that you have ever
I was like, what
seen.
the fuck happened?
They
Do
pulled the
you
veil
see
away
what
from
we're
his
talking
eyes.
about? Well, if you're here, you're already agreeing with us. Those people that gave Lord of the Rings a 10 out of 10 Rings of Power masterpiece IGN aren't here anymore. But they need to listen to this. You need to send them the video, guys. A show called Lord of the Rings should not contradict the heart and soul and lore of Lord of the Rings. With Amazon's money, there's like infinite resources. This is inexcusable. This makes no sense. They are creating their own world within the world that Tolkien already created. They're just taking the things and elements in it they like to craft something much fucking worse. A shit baby. A fucking snowman made a shit. I can't. It's so clear that they've barely read the books. Okay? They're only superficially using some of the events in the works to make their own version of the story. And after what they've said in public, what they've assured people, what they assured the estate, what they assured the fans, they have been caught so many times in interviews and that they would not do this, and they did it. I feel like those two writers, these two showrunners, are basically liars, con artists, and who basically tricked quite a few people into believing in them, and then we get fucking tropey CW shite that is so small-scaled, so small-minded, written by amateurs. There are people who write fan fiction better than this show. And I'm serious, and it should give fan fiction writers everywhere hope that they can have $1 billion show, right? Because you too can fuck Lord of the Rings up if you just have a will and a way.
I was really upset that we didn't get a full-on sex scene. I wanted like full penetration. Sauron, Galadriel, let's go. Like if we're gonna go to fucking Crazy
Alex,
Town,
God
let's just like take it to even like they've ruined it, right? Like why not ruin it to the point where it's at least funny?
I know.
Because like
and then they're copying so much from the Peter Jackson trilogy. So we're gonna do our own thing. We know the Peter Jacksons and it was fine. But then in the show, they copy it so much, you know what I mean? They copy the fucking horse scene from Two Towers where the horse runs, you know. I guarantee you that horse is going to save, what's this guy's name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. They're going to say fucking Borak and Jimmy.
Yeah, he's in Borat's village, and he's just lying down.
And he's gonna be laying in a stream, and the horse is gonna lick his face. That happened already, and by the way, that's not resolved in this at all.
That happens
that's
later.
one hanging storyline that they left open. It's gonna copy the Ringwraith scene. You know, remember when the orcs were searching for them? Galadriel and Theo literally ignore people burning and dying, and his mother, who he's searching for, to leave this small village. Remember, it is a tiny village, and they all need to go to camp, and yet they just go randomly off in a direction while the soldiers go. They separate so that they can have their scene, so that they can copy Lord of the Rings, only worse with the sword. They are copying Lord of the Rings. They are just stealing stuff. They stole Bera and Luthien's meeting story, the Glade of the Flowers, when she mentions her husband for the first time in 7 episodes. Like she's telling the story, and that's a completely different story in the lore. So they're mixing that as well. And to show you that they don't really, here's to hammer it home, they don't really read the books. They don't really care and respect Tolkien's work. The Queen says, Ar Inziladun. She refers to her father as Ar Inziladun, which is an actual insult.
Yeah.
Because they didn't read the fucking lore. Why? Well, as that king, he took the name Tar Palantir. If you know the difference between the R and the Tar, right? These things, these suffixes that they put in front of their names, it's to honor. So you have the loyalists who go Tar, and because Tar elves, right? They do that. And then the fuck the knife ears that took her jobs. They are the ones that do the, R. on purpose to be like, fuck you guys, that we are humans and this is our fucking, fuck anybody that's not of our bloodline. And they're like racist, basically. And so the queen herself is referring to her father with the name that is of the loyalist father with the name of a racist, faction, basically, is what I'm trying to get across here. Meaning kings. Kings, just like the kings of queens of old, to repent the actions of their predecessors. That's why they take the name Tar, to repent the actions of their predecessors. And so you can tell they never even read the book because they got that fucking wrong. There's absolutely no growth for Galadriel in this. I was waiting for it, right? I was waiting. Oh, Joe, she only acts like girl boss, but don't worry, she's not a Mary Sue because she's going to have some character growth at some point. Did she grow in this episode?
Not at all.
Not fucking at all. No growth for Galadriel. No growth for Theo. Her basically her speech to him, it was fucking hypocritical, that she never practices what she preached, and she is rewarded time and time again. She is the smartest fucking person in the room. Our God and Savior Galadriel she's more powerful than the God of Lord of the Rings, because every good idea comes from her. And it's even in this episode that every good idea comes from her. And she has no character growth, rewarded for her bad behavior. No Isildur growth, no Nori growth, no Arendir, no Bronwyn, no nothing. Basically, Durin is the only one in the last episode that showed any backbone stepping up to his father. I guess he has kind of an arc. But what do we have here? No fucking dwarves. So you're going to take the best element of the show that we liked and we want to know about, and you teased the Balrog, which just proves that you were that's just there to tease at the audience that please watch season 2. We're pantomiming with the fucking Balrog. Oh, the leaf fell and he got mad. Come back and watch. It was a fucking trick that was literally there for the audience.
Yeah.
Because we never go back to the fucking dwarves. So I guess in season 2, we're going to have a Balrog wake up early. So we're butchering Second Age lore. We're going to butcher Third Age lore to pull it over into our stupid goddamn bullshit.
They need everything they can now.
They need everything they can. And then we get fucking, whatever. I can't. When you make a Rings of Power show and you poorly handle almost every good element that was there for you, how are you? It's a fucking layup, Joe. When you fucking play basketball and somebody fucks up a layup, you're like, what are you? Why are you playing?
Unless you're on the
go and practice.
The Lakers will recruit you if that's happening.
Go and practice. It's a fucking fan film, Joe, that's done poorly. Galadriel is goddamn, she's not the head of the armies. Why are we making her such a paragon? Because I don't know, because the previous Tolkien lore didn't have a lot of women, and they're like, no, this is what we want to do. The woman is the most powerful thing here, and everybody else is an idiot, and she will teach all of the men and all the people how exactly to do this. The Numenoreans are not the greatest kingdom at all. They are incompetent. They have no fucking idea how to do any battles. They don't even know how to fucking put swords into orcs when they fight. Elrond basically replaces Celebrimbor with all of his actions with the dwarves in the books. Celebrimbor was way cooler in the books, and Elrond basically takes that. The fucking fake hobbits, again, they don't appear for thousands of years. They don't factor in, but it's Lord of the Rings. It's Peter Jackson. You remember Frodo and Sam. So we're putting the Harfoots front and center, and we're giving them 17 goodbyes when fucking Nori leaves her goddamn horrible people. These are horrible people that I want to perish. And we give her 20 minutes of leaving when we have so much more important shit. It's just crazy. All the characters are kicking and screaming to the next scene. It's, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. So, go ahead. Say something because I could
For
rant
me,
for another
I don't
3
know
hours.
much of the lore, but this was still an unsatisfied ending.
Okay.
Everything I wanted to see some more of a Sauron.
Yeah, let's
Like,
hear
what the
about
fuck?
this. So, this is the final reveal. Joe was
Yes.
what? Or
He's like, aha,
Halbrand-
it's me. He twists his mustache and disappears. That's it. That's it. And then you see him already in Mordor with a fucking hood on.
He shops at the same.
How did he get there so fast?
Everyone teleports.
But they also wrote in
I know it!
6 days.
Thank you,
6
Joe.
days, he's
Thank
bleeding
you.
out.
I
He's
fucking didn't we
bleeding
say it
out.
last scene? Didn't we say it last episode that we
Yes.
said? I swear to God, if they fuck, the next episode is gonna be them riding into the fucking city, even though it takes it's the half
It's
of more
6
than half of the
days.
middle. They had to write real quickly. Oh fuck! Did you fuck 6 days?
like that guy
so
would've
that means
died. He
yeah,
would've died.
and
Well, he's
and-
not a
but,
guy.
But the time thing is okay. So then they what?
They mess with the time. The time we
Teleporting
spent
everywhere.
with the Harfoots, I don't fucking care about. The
Right.
Harfoots make me even more mad than they even exist.
Yes. Well, thank
They're
God.
wasting screen time of what I really wanted to see. And
Yeah.
then we finally get the reveal and it's already over. I'm like, this was a terrible fucking cliffhanger.
Yes, exactly. So
It's
from a
time
person
jumps.
who doesn't know the lore, you did not enjoy.
No, I did not
this
enjoy this at
finale.
all.
It's not just because I'm ranting and raving over here.
No, because you know how much I hate the fucking Harfoots.
Right.
And we get all of that, and I want to see Sauron.
Yeah, but did you feel like the reveal of Sauron was satisfactory?
No.
And the reveal of the wizard was satisfactory?
quick. No,
it's
too
way
quick.
too quick. Like it's like they're rushing their homework home or something to
It was
the
way
teacher.
too quick. They just skipped on that and wanted to do their own bullshit, which was shit.
Yeah, I mean the real travesty is what's left on the table, right? Like, so the things that now cannot happen are better. I mean, they're just simply straight up, even in their bullet point form, better than what we got on the screen. And so we're not going to get.
Read the books.
I mean, it's just like you can just read a fucking Cliff Notes and be like, oh shit, the Cliff Notes are better.
Yes,
Because it's
I read the Cliff Notes of the Numenoreans, and it was better, man. I can't believe they fucked that up.
So, I mean, we're not going to get anything cool. I don't think that we're going to get a war between Sauron and the Elves. I don't know if we're going to get a
We
destruction.
definitely are getting a war between the elves and Sauron. It's set up that way at the very end.
Where you think he's going to blow up Eregion?
Yes, he is going to his kingdom. Now he's going to fight Adar. He's going to gain the forces, and then because we got 4 more seasons of this bullshit.
Well, so-
Season 2, he's going to fight Adar, take over his forces, and then it's going to be a build up to fighting the elves. Season 3, there's a war between the elves and Sauron, and then the Numenoreans join, and the Numenoreans kick his ass, and Numenoreans capture Sauron and take him home, or capture him and take him prisoner on the island. Then season 4, he fucking manipulates them behind the scenes, because remember, his buddy Farazan is listening to him. He whispers in his ear, and then he makes all the Numenoreans worship Morgoth, and then they become evil, and then the fucking world fucking and then he convinces them to make war on the Valinor, and then season 5, the fucking island is destroyed. Or the end of season 4, the island is destroyed, and then season 5, the survivors of the island fight back, and then we lead to the battle at the beginning of Lord of the Rings, where the 2 main characters that survive the fucking fallen Numenorean, his son and Elendil or whatever his name is, and they fight Sauron. That's at the beginning of Lord of the
I think that was
Rings.
like 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're gonna
They're
do
gonna
it and
cram
they're gonna
it
do
all
it all.
in
Yeah,
there.
so I mean, the thing that I've got is that I was saying is like we got so much on Galadriel just being a piece of shit, genocide running all over the country, and it's like honestly,
He's being a piece of shit to everyone.
It just led up to nothing. Like it ultimately led to nothing happening in this season there, which is a major issue. I mean, you can have it where you have a band of Southerners that are. If you say that the Southlands are a week's heavy ride from Linden, fine. or a Region. I don't believe it, but fine. And you say that there's a massive group of people that are trying to escape orc attacks, and then Galadriel lets them in. She meets a guy who claims to be their king in episode 1, and she forms some sort of bond, talking about things, and he's telling her about the orcs, and she's getting real excited. And it turns out that, this is fucking episode 1, and we stretch this out. We just wasted this entire season on nothing.
Because it's a prologue. It is a 8-hour prologue.
But it's a flawed prologue because they explained in the beginning that Sauron doesn't know how to make rings of power. What did he learn
He was trying to do it at his house,
but
and he couldn't
figure it out. What did he learn from the elves? Nothing. He taught them how to make it. They didn't say that he stole the mithril.
He told them about how to mix metals that they already...
So if at one point he goes, holy shit, he stole all the mithril we had, and we only have enough to make 3 small rings instead of a crown, I've kind of made him something. He just
There's so many things that they could have done.
And then they had the gall at the area and the closing song. He's like, he made 9 rings and 8 rings and 3 rings.
God, I hated that fucking song at the end. Get the fuck out of here. Number 1, the elf rings are not made first. That's the whole fucking point of the elf rings. They're made in secret. And then Sauron's like, what the fuck? You're making more rings? No, I want all the rings. And then he makes war on the elves. Because he already made the rings for the humans and the dwarves, and then he's gonna... And you have elf rings? Those are mine now. But now the elven rings are made first, and he's like, just fuck it. Fuck this whole thing. This whole thing is garbage. It's fan fiction that has $1 billion behind it. How does it have $1 billion behind it? And we had we had 0 set pieces. Name one set piece battle. Name one epic thing in the entire epic Lord of the Rings thing here. Rings of Power. And don't you fucking say the 24 Numenorean soldiers that tripped with a chain 17 orcs, 47 orcs.
I was going to say when Feminem blew
the
up
Harfoot.
That was the coolest moment.
Yes.
Literally
Sonya
the coolest
Blade,
moment.
fatality.
There's so much to get to here. We're going to dive in now. God damn it. Fuck this shit.
Do you want to give a final verdict for this episode?
No.
No, okay.
Yes. We haven't even covered... No, we're holding our ratings until the very end.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to give this episode a rating, and then we're going to give the whole fucking season a rating, okay? So, the fucking dweller bows to the stranger. Lord Sauron. I love it when she says that. And you know what? She's the coolest fucking thing in this show. I actually like the Dweller now. This feminine has really convinced me. I like her. Anyway, and she fucking murders Harfoots. Fuck yeah. Anyways, so you hear it in the promo. They kind of spoiled it in the promo. You hear the voices, you are Lord Sauron. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, there's no way that they would let these dwellers these priests into an elven city. So she's not talking to Halbrand. Clearly the show is going to do, oh my God, he's Sauron. The priests think that he's Sauron. All right, but they are mistaken. They're doing the whole, hey, look here, hey, what we were saying the whole time. Remember, every time, evil. It would cut to the stranger. Well, clearly he's not fucking Sauron. It's so painfully obvious. And if there's people, I guess, I have context with the lore. Joe, did you think it's the possibility he might be Sauron?
I thought it was Halbrand.
Well, he might. Well, it's because I think what we said. Your average wife, uncle's sister is watching the show. What? Oh my God, he's Sauron clearly, because these priests have been worshiping and praying. They would know. No, they're fucking morons. Why do they think he's Sauron? Why?
He fell from the sky.
Because he fell from the sky. That's the same thing the idiot Barkeep thought. The meteor means that our Lord is back. Everybody thinks he's falling from the sky, but that makes no fucking sense. I guess they disappear, and then he thinks he's falling from the sky. Fine. But anyway, so they bow to him as Lord Sauron. I guarantee... okay. And then, as I guaranteed, they rode to the Elven city in one day because maps, time, space, mean nothing in this show. They rode. Oh, but Joe, it says they rode for 6 days. Oh, and he comes in on the horse completely. He's like dead. He's dead on the horse as he rides in. Do you know how hard it is to ride a horse when you're engaged? If you're slumped over, that man would have fell off his fucking horse.
Especially with that gash.
She must have fucking duct taped fucking Halbrand to the goddamn horse and rode for a month. But no, it was 6 days.
He's no average man.
He's no average man. Yeah, and now it makes sense finally because he wasn't hurt at all. Get it? He wasn't hurt at all. He was making it all up because he is Sauron. She confirms that, the time that she jumped. So she confirms that her plan the entire time was to jump into the ocean and swim. That was her plan. Mm-hmm. Galadriel. For her, it's nothing. For she is our Lord and Savior, Galadriel, the omnipotent being.
There's creatures in the sea.
Who no swimmer in all of the known universe could match her prowess. She swims. That was her plan, Joe. She was going to swim the entire ocean of Middle-earth. But if not for Halbrand running into her randomly, was that Sauron's plan the whole fucking time? To randomly run into her in the entire fucking ocean of Middle-earth? How?
It's called fate.
So, okay, let me play this out in my head. Sauron was secretly shadowing Galadriel the whole fucking time, got a ship, and then was following the elf ship without the elves noticing, right? And as they were going to the afterlife and she jumps off, he's like, aha, that's my moment. And then he blows up his own ship, and then he, like, rafts over to her real quick, right? Explain this! Somebody explain this.
That's the only
The
logical...
entire show
only
is
logical
based on a
reason.
happenstance that Sauron, disguised as Halbrand, is in the same area that Galadriel is in, as her plan. So he predicted that she would be so pure fucking hubris that she's like, the ocean is nothing to me, and she will fucking swim the ocean. Okay, fine. Let's give her that. So Halbrand, as he enters the city, they're like, oh my God, we need elvish medicine. We don't even get the scene where we're using elvish medicine. We don't get anything because we gotta go. We gotta go. He's already healed. He walks into the, hey,
What they notice is
who
like,
is that?
wait, this guy is fine.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
Look at how fast I healed.
I'm walking around.
Damn, even the elvish medicine's like, damn, our medicine's good. What the
Like,
fuck?
you should be resting. It's like doing cartwheels. I'm fine.
He's doing cartwheels in the Elvish city, which looked like a cheap set. She's like hiding behind one wall, and he must keep an eye on this. And they're talking, and it looks like cheap sets anyway. So fucking Halbrand goes into his smith, the Celebrimbor's fucking forge, and he's like, and we never get a shot of this badass forge. We never get like, whoa, it's built and da. It
Costs money.
It seems like this forge has always been around or something. It's just like one of the shittier forges that they're using, whatever. So then he's like, whoa, are you Celebrimbor? I've heard so much about you. How about I give you a little advice? Here's a gift. I'm giving you a gift. It's so wait a minute. This the little piece. You got a little piece, and they say, oh no, all the elves are gonna die because the fucking tree or the Gil Galahad shows up to be an idiot because they hate Gil Galahad in the show. He's an awesome in the books. He's an idiot here. He's like, we need to hurry up. You guys can't build anything because we need to hurry. And they're like, well, can you give us a little more time? And he's like, no, this is fucking stupid, but we want to build something. And he's like, okay, I'll give you more time. What was his purpose?
They wanted to show off his spear, which is awesome.
They were like, we're going to build you a crown.
It is awesome. It's like like they talk about it like it's a fucking person. It's a fucking hero, and they fucking kill Sauron. When I saw it, I was like, that's cool. I like that.
I didn't even know that. Me and
Yeah.
Joe didn't know that. We're like, what? What spear? What are you fucking talking about?
You see,
It literally was there for what, 5 seconds?
and there's no reason for him to be like walking around and traveling with it. He's like walking around with his weapon. It's like,
a spear.
it's
Look
like
at it,
you walk
Easter
from
egg.
Linden to Oregon, and
Me and Joe are like, what the fuck?
yeah,
It's like, what is he pointing at?
yeah.
He's like, a stick.
We have other things to cover. What are we doing, Gil Galahad? But Dave, no, you guys can't try to save our entire race. I will not do everything I can to do every idea to save our race, you fucking idiots. Elrond. It's so that Elrond can have his impassioned plea. Please, sir, please.
I'm gonna use your own advice against you.
And he's like, oh, I am wise.
Uh,
Gil Galahad is an idiot.
yes, Gil Galahad. Walks up to Celebrimbor and is just like, "You're meaning to tell me, second greatest smith that's ever lived, you didn't know to mix metal? You fucking idiot!" And he's like, "Well, no. This was just the key that broke the dam." And it's like, how on the nose do we need to be? The key that broke the dam?
You dumb fucks!
Fuck
You're
you.
treating the audience as if they're fucking stupid, idiot children.
Yeah.
Get it?
You got Star Wars Andor, which I almost feel like this shit is happening somewhere and off in a distant galaxy far, far away, and they just managed to get the technology to put the cameras over there. They're acting like normal humans, and these are like, look at my spear. The key to the thing, it will destroy everything. What are you doing? What is writing? He's mad. So, and then Gil Galahad, they butcher his character. He's mad at Galadriel.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up. Shouldn't even be here. What? She was right. She was right the whole time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say sorry. He doesn't say I'm an
didn't
idiot. I
care.
didn't see the tree, the darkness, and then he's refusing the solution. I hate him. I hate him in this show, and I should not hate him. You should be okay. Wow, the leader of the elves, very cool.
He's a real asshole.
He's an asshole. And then he gives the gift of, and then this whole stupid made up storyline falls apart with the. Where's the Mithril? Are the elves fucked now? At the end of the episode, are the elves fucked? We ain't got no Mithril. What? I thought you were gonna cover everybody in Mithril. So are we not going to cover everybody in Mithril? Or is it that this piece of shit fucking peanut is enough to smelt into the 3 rings, and then the 3 rings will somehow cover all the elves? Somebody help me, Joe. Joe, I'm looking straight at you. So when they put on the rings, the Mithril from the rings will then cover one elf who is wearing it, which then their particles will then cover other elves, and their kingdom will be saved.
You just have to put your rings on and give every elf a rub and tug.
I don't know.
Saturate
I don't
yourselves
know
with
what's
it.
happening.
I do
here.
like that they got the look of the rings correct. Where
Dude,
two
the
of them,
rings look so fucking awesome.
2 of them are gold, and they're like, these are made of mithril. It's like, why are 2 of
saw
them
that.
gold and one of them made out of mithril? Because it's like that's supposed
So
to be, but it's
stupid.
like this is fucking dumb.
The color of the metal clearly pours, and then it's multicolored and somehow turns different
We
colors.
also need gold and silver from Valinor. And she's like, this dagger. It's like, lady, we don't need the blade part. You can keep that because it's not made of gold or silver because they're too soft for blades. we can just take the bottom part off and like you can keep the actual
you
dagger.
can put
And
another
she's like,
hilt on.
She's putting like her steel in there. It's like no. I said gold and silver.
She doesn't know what hilts are.
We're
She
gonna mix everything together.
She doesn't know what
right?
hilts are,
Mix.
Alex, because she couldn't. Feel the hilts
I'm
of
sorry.
the-
Celebrimbor did not know how to mix metal before, so
Didn't know how to
he
mix
did not
metal.
know to do that. So
Okay, so then, Galadriel realizes right then. What are you talking about? Because Celebrimbor is talking exactly like Adar was. So what do you hear these things? Well, I don't know. I came up with the idea. Well, maybe it was one of my smiths. It could be Halbrand. What? I'm Galadriel. How dare.
I'll get to the bottom of this.
I'll get to the bottom of this. So she realizes that Halbrand is Sauron because he's been saying the same shit that fucking Adar was.
Well, first she has some random elf with a modern haircut go to the the record room, which they didn't know that this out. Like, you're telling me that the elves of Eregion, not Linden, Eregion, just this random fucking city, has the detailed lineage of the random shithole
of
village?
a made-up Southlands that wasn't in the lore.
They said we don't have much.
We don't. Yeah, well,
and we don't have much, but I will look and it will take all
I have
day. So that
irrefutable
means
proof
that we will have irrefutable proof.
And then he's just like, and then Sauron's just like, yeah. He could have been like, no, I'm a bastard. They didn't, he could have been the deceitful person that you think Sauron is, and he's just
well,
like.
Technically, he was telling the truth because she's the one who's like, you're the king of the South. He's like, no, I'm not. He's like, you're not the king of the South. It's like, I told you I did. I got it from a dead guy.
But that's why he was like thanking her the whole episode, and we'll get to that.
It's just what's crazy is like how much they've nerfed this guy.
She's a
like
fucking moron. I'm sorry.
So Sauron is this big bad guy who apparently only rules for about 30 years because that's how long the series is. And then they're like, deceiver, and he's like, dude, I've been telling the truth literally the whole fucking time. And they're like, oh, well, technically that's true. We're just stupid. And he's like, yeah, I've been telling the truth. He doesn't even try to lie. He's just like, nah. And so it's like, what have they done to like the big bad that's in the Second Age? They've just turned him into some fucking dude.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him.
Who shot at the same
that
place
is
that Damon
the craziest fucking thing.
Evil cloak?
That I am Team Sauron. I never fucking thought Amazon and Rings of Power would make me. I want Halbrand to win. In fact, I loved his performance as Sauron. I love when he's screaming at Galadriel. I loved him. I want him to murder everybody and win. It's not going to happen. Elrond wants 3 more months. He asks Gil-galad, and he gives it to him. Then the smithing happens as if it's shown in a completely rushed way, and now they're because they're running out of script. Hurry! We got to make the rings because it says Rings of Power. Mm-hmm. And then finally, Halbrand confronts Galadriel, and she thanks him in a creepy sort of way for pushing him and saving him and believing in him. And she's like, oh, shit, I'm getting weird vibes by this guy. Because remember, in the lore, Galadriel was the only one to see through his deception, so she sees through his deception, even though he has earned her trust so goddamn much. Yeah. And now he's just going to reveal himself to her because he's a fucking idiot. And, okay, but anyway, because he could have easily got out of that discussion that, what records? What are you talking about? Y'all don't have the fucking records. They were burned. They were lost. It's easy. It's so stupid, but the script requires her to see through because she is the God and Savior Galadriel. So, we go back to the stranger plot line now, and and they're explaining to him, the priests, you are Israel, and they placed a veil on your mind, and they cast you down, and he's like, I'm evil, and then they say, yeah, we are from the east, and you could do this, and then he kind of doesn't believe him, and so he's just getting mad, and he's fucking confused, and so he starts using magic, and they're like, oh shit, and he's like, he will learn, and they knock him out with their powers, and so you get the cool magic powers back and forth. I thought it was cool. So they knock him out, and until he can control his powers, but then the best part of the show shows up. Dun, 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 dun. Hey! The Harfoots are there, and they are here to save the day. They show up, and they fucking make owl noises, which causes the priests to draw their blades and go looking for this motherfucking owl so it can challenge that owl to combat because the owl is an extremely major threat to their prize that they just won.
La lechuza.
I guess. No, Spanish. I get, and I was like, this is so fucking stupid, but aha, gotcha. They really didn't go looking for the owl because the stranger shapeshifts into the Dweller again. And I like the Dweller shapeshifting. So the Dweller did the shapeshift on fucking Nori to, get the stranger, and then she does the shapeshift from the stranger, and it like falls and leaves. So they're doing the shapeshifting good in the show. Like I said, the VFX artists are the only ones doing anything. But then the stranger uses magic on them in order to save the Harfoots because they're his friends and the power of love and their big hearts. And so then they fight with magic against each other. And the Harfoots run. And the lead Harfoot stabs one in the foot. And what's the Harfoot's name that gets killed? So they throw a fucking knife. Right? And the main Sadar,
the guy that reads book,
the book guy gets killed. He gets stabbed, and somebody threw something. But he's not dead later on because he comes and helps, and so they're kind of winning against the priests. These massively powerful priests, and the Harfoots are throwing rocks at their head. Ow! Ow! That really hurt. Ow! I can't just live. Okay, whatever. So then throwing rocks, and whatever. They're throwing the rocks. What happens?
Nori steals the staff because her friends are getting flamethrowered, and she gives the staff to Slamdolf, and Slamdolf's like, "I don't want it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I fucking hate you." And he's like, "I don't want it." And she's like,
good.
And he's like, "You're evil." And he's like, "I am Groot."
Well, he says, "Go away first. Yeah. I'm gonna hurt you." And she's like, "No, you're here to help." So it was the heart of Nori that convinced him that he really is good. And then we do that, where he's like, "I am Groot."
And then he puts out the fire, and then it shows that these aren't actual women; they're white girls, and they turn into butterflies.
Completely fucking butchered the lore. They are revealed as Ringwraiths, Joe. They look exactly like Ringwraiths. How are there fucking Ringwraiths? There's no fucking rings yet. That's because it's remember from the Peter Jackson trilogy. Remember, those are bad guys. So these are bad guys. They look exactly like Ringwraiths. How the fuck can they be Ringwraiths? There's no fucking rings yet. Anyway, so he says, they say, "He's not Sauron. We are idiots." He is the other. As if they even fucking know who the other is. How would they know who the other is? We don't know.
They have the Valinor playbook.
They have the script.
And they're like, "Oh,
He's
shit.
the other one that the show has been teasing. We don't have the right one. We need the other one.
You got their stunt
the
double."
Halbrand. Stunt double. The Istar, he says. And he goes, and they go, they're going to say his name, and he goes, "I am Groot." And the staff
shines light and
then falls apart, and they turn into Ringwraiths. And he banishes them. They turn into moths first, I guess, and kaleidoscopes. I don't know. And then they die as moths, and they fly away. And the priest couldn't kill but one Harfoot. They're doing this flamethrower. And the Harfoot's like,
pretty fucking powerful. It's like, what are you doing?
It was shown before that she can toss the fire wherever she wants, and then 30 feet away.
Exactly
here,
where she wanted.
She has only a 1 foot range. Stop running! I wanted all these Harfoots to be roasted, except for Nori. Nori is like the only Harfoot that I'll stand. Anyways, so then we go to the fucking Numenorean boat, which I'm putting a picture. This time I'm putting a picture. Here are the Numenorean boats that are shown to scale. They are so fucking small. There's no way I will not let this go. This is
I've seen the drawing.
He's seen the drawings, and I'm showing the drawings now. I will not forget to put that. There's multiple drawings I've found now that are funny. So anyway, he goes under the ship, and he pledges that he's going to help the elves again and stay loyal because it's tough. And she gives him a speech. It's like it's sacrifice and, but they're below deck, so you can see there's no horses or anything.
Well, you forgot the great line. He's like, "I've got you," and she's like, "But who's got you?"
All
I'm
right.
like, "What the fuck? Who wrote this shit?
Who's got you?
And
You
it's
may
like,
have time off.
That's good. That's good.
No, I'm not fucking like that.
Who watches the Watchers? They say, wrong franchise.
Yeah.
I heard it one time in a movie. She says, because Numenoreans watch movies on their island.
Well, they
And
have to be. Isn't this one called The Eye, right? Is this one called The Eye?
This
So the Andor episode was
or no,
called
I
The
think
Eye?
the last one was
It's called The Eye. Oh, last one called The Eye. And this, but also we also had the king
How could it
who
be
thought
called
it was
The
his
Eye?
daughter, but it wasn't his daughter, telling the secret to the wrong person. And it's
you
just
see,
like,
do you see that parallel right at the end? You know how House of the Dragon handles it, and then how this handles it. It's like a fucking stupid fairy tale for children that is done so poorly, and this one's done for adults. Anyway, so they pledge to help the elves again and stay loyal. Just as they show up back to their island, Numenor is in sight. And then they realize that her father is dead because there are tons of warships and boats that they could have used in the invasion, but they all have black banners, and there's black banners here and there, which means funeral, and her father has passed away. And because I guess he is the king regent, or he was like the advisor, power would pass to him while she's away, so he's probably in charge now. And then she's like, but I am queen, and he's like, but you are blind. Probably this is what's going to happen in season 2, and then he's going to take control, right? Because people lose faith in her because she cannot see.
well, they're going to get married, and they're going to do this stuff.
Or they'll do that. What? Is that what's in the books?
Yeah, he forces her to marry him and so he can steal the throne.
Okay. Anyways, but when they're in this fucking small, tiny ship, it's just I can't get over it, Joe. The ship doesn't even fucking move. It's like they're in a house. There's no ways or nothing. I hate it. It's I guess their ships operate on magic because
Steady
they're
ride.
magic submarine.
They got some springs on it.
And springs. The Numenoreans are pathetic. They're not the badass civilization that they needed to be, and I cannot believe they fucked up the most essential part of what. And I can't believe I forgot. No, fuck this. Ta-da! Fuck this, man. I bought this new Numenorean shirt from the band and in order to wear at some point. I kept forgetting because the show is so forgetful. These are badass Numenoreans. This is what got me into the lore in the first place, and to explore these badass stories of this badass civilization and the awesome writing of Tolkien. And then this show comes along and fucks it all up. And Joe's like, you built these guys up, but they suck. Read the books, Joe. All right. And by the way, the book coming out soon, what's it called?
The Fallen Numenor.
Cannot wait for that. That's the book that you need to start with, Joe. All right. So I think that's November. That's what you should be doing. All right. So anyways, he banishes them. The priest couldn't kill but one Harfoot. And then he dies as he looks at the sunrise. And I guess they're pretty sad. Then we go to the Numenorean boat. Huh?
Didn't feel anything.
Yeah, and at no point did even the reveal of Sauron. Anyway, so our great savior, Galadriel. Remember, our Lord and Savior Galadriel, the omnipotent, never wrong girl boss, is the one who inspires them to stop using force. Because as soon as they get there, I thought this explosion was like at Numenor, and it was like the king's fucking room. I'm like, God damn, man, you're really taking over. But no, it was an explosion at the elves' place. Because their forges keep breaking because they keep trying to force the metal to bond with other metals, and Galadriel is the one who inspires them to stop using force. Galadriel to coax them. So now they need to coax the metals to bond. Hey, could you please bond with the other metal? Okay, you're so nice and beautiful. Okay, you want to do this for me? And if you talk to her real nice, then the metals will bond. And so the metals will bond now. And then, yeah, so, and they talk about going, and now we're going to go from crowns to rings, right? And Halbrand is the one that's like, yeah, we're going to make 2. We're going to make 2 rings. And, but then she's like, what? All this shit that you're saying, guess what? I looked up your lineage here at this elven library, and it said that your line died thousands of years ago. Tell me your name. Because I found you out, because our God and Savior Galadriel, who trusted him more than anyone in her life.
I told you I wasn't.
Right.
I found this on a dead guy.
He's like, I've been awake since the breaking of the silence at dawn, and I've had many names. And I was like, was that Morgoth or Sauron? Because if he was there at the very beginning of the song, it's like, that's Morgoth, not Sauron, right? I guess Sauron was also around at the beginning of creation. I don't fucking know that. I'd have to reread the books or something. But anyway, she attacks, or no, she didn't attack him. She basically says, no, she does attack him. She gets out her fucking brother's blade and goes, but then right when she does that, he blocks her with a dream. He does the bully. She's back in the past where she was bullied. Oh no. But then her brother shows up to, comfort her, and her brother's like, "You suck, and Halbrand is awesome." So I was searching for Sauron. I was searching for Sauron, but then I found him, and he was doing some good stuff. He only wants peace and order, and he wants to heal Middle-earth. Mm-hmm. So.
And he's super cute, and I hear he's ripped, and it's just like, Sauron just like talking himself up. It's like, this is kind of weird. It's like,
because
it's, and it still bothers me that she only acknowledges she has one fucking brother.
He's really smart.
Yeah.
She fights off the dream. No, he is not any of those things. I hate him. And she fights off the dream of her brother, only to be transported back to the raft. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, is this show going to do something motherfucking clever? Okay, so it could have been, oh, it was all a dream. And I was like, oh, thank God. It was all a dream. We're starting back on the rift because I hate all of it. Or it could have been.
They're not going to undo
everything. Or it could have been when they were on that raft, because they were out there for a while. Here's a really awesome idea that they completely failed to see. When they're on that raft out there for how many days or weeks, to get back, something happened between, it's just him and her. And she could have been caught unaware, and Halbrand could have done some dark magic on her or something, and explained why she is so fucking evil, why she's so fucking prideful, fucking eagle through the roof, has darkness in her, all these different things, because at that moment, in a moment where she wasn't looking, maybe he manipulates her so he can have that plan in order to manipulate her to make all these events. But really, no, this isn't in the past. This is happening in the mind battle, right? So I was like, fuck. Because that could have been really cool. But anyways, he in this mind battle, they're on the raft, and they have a screaming match at each other. So fucking Halbrand's, and then Galadriel's like,
he proposes. He literally proposes. Sauron,
forgot about
in
that.
Rings of Power, proposed to Galadriel and said, "I want you to be my queen." And it's like,
I tried to push that out of my mind, but that was the thing that upset me the most. The camera spins. And then looks at the water, because the water calms down, and in the water it is Sauron in his armor, and Galadriel in her, fucking powerful form, and their husband and wife.
Yeah, I can't. This is so funny to me, because you just imagine like the estate just going, "Wait a minute, you have the Lord of Darkness proposing to Galadriel."
I don't think the estate cares anymore.
Oh, they've got the money.
So that's what I'm saying is like they got tricked by these writers.
They were
They said,
deceived.
we're not going to contradict the lore. We're not going to butcher some of these ideas. We have what we need based on what we do. No. You didn't have what you need, and then you filled it in with garbage like this. Let's ship these two, and then because it creates drama, and it's a love story, and it's a forbidden love story.
But she's already married.
And how the only reason why Sauron is evil in the Lord of the Rings film is because he was rejected by Galadriel.
He's an incel now. Sauron the incel. He's gonna sit in this fucking bitch. I'm gonna fucking destroy Arachnion because she's a bitch, and. How dare you turn me down? Who do you think you are, you femoid? It's like that.
Fucking horror on my face. I can't. Fuck you, Amazon. Fuck you for doing this. This is garbage. It's trash. It's trash of the lowest order, CW, Lifetime channel trash. When you literally had not only infinite resources and money, but you had it all written for you. I don't understand. To make really shitty shipping fan fiction. Wow.
very depressing.
Alex is right. I mean, yeah. Sauron is fucking mad. And he was going to be good. If Galadriel would have just bit him, he would have brought order, and it would have been good. But no, she rejects him. Okay, well, fuck it. I'm going to be evil now, and I'm going to beat up on Legolas and everything. And Frodo, fuck no, because we never knew about Frodo. All right. So Sauron wants to heal the evil that he's done. So that's the only part that I kind of do like, because there is support in the lore for Sauron wanting to try to reform at certain points. So here's like, I want to heal the evil I've done. And so then he tempts her. Oh, heaven. Tempts her with a companionship to be her husband in the water. She goes, "You, the Dark Lord?" And he goes, "No, not dark. Not with you at my side. I will be light with you at my side." And they do the worst thing that I could think of in bastardizing the lore, is shipping these two. He will become evil if Galadriel rejects him. Otherwise, he just wants order and to heal and to be forgiven of his sins. And he says, she's like, save or rule? So I want to save or rule. And he's like, I see no difference. She was considering it. Aha, but I have you there. Then that is why I will never be at your side. And then he gets super pissed. How dare you reject me, woman?
I guess you just don't like nice guys.
I am being nice.
Like,
You bitch.
you bitch, you bitch, you bitch. It's like, Jesus.
They cast you out for asking for a few petty soldiers to fight me? What will they do when you tell them we were allies? And then we do the close-up point of view. Cam is ridiculous as they point of view scream at each other and screaming and, in each other's faces. And luckily, Elrond pulls her out of it.
But he doesn't kill her because he loves her? Why doesn't he kill her?
I don't know. He's no longer in the room, Alex. She's like doing all this on her own now.
Yeah, but he has a knife. He has complete control of her body. She's
right, yeah,
she's one of the most important elves, and she's one of the most important things that are alive in Middle Earth right now. And he's just like,
Stab.
so he doesn't kill her because he loves her.
Because he loves her.
I'm just asking: is it because he actually truly loves her?
Because
That's what we're
in
going with
this
here?
fucking show, they're gonna be like, they're gonna see each
the only
other from
reason.
afar. No, don't do this, my love. And then Galadriel's husband's gonna be like, "What the fuck, bitch? What'd you say? You fucking whore!" God damn this fucking garbage fan fiction travesty. Anyways, they close-up point of
They make 3 rings now. So she gets up and she walks over and she's like, "We're going to make 3 rings." And they're like, "Wait, why?" And he's like, "Because 1 corrupts, 2 divides, and 3 is the magic number. And we also have 3 gems." And everyone's like, "Wait, what?"
She would never wear the rings that Halbrand created. I was like, there's no fucking way that Galadriel's going to turn around and be like, doo-doo-doo, Halbrand is an idiot, but this looks really cool, But no, so they have to come up with a contrivance. Oh, they need metal from her brother's dagger, and she loves her brother so much that, that's how she stayed close to her brother, because it's her brother's dagger's gold and fucking silver in there. And then also, again, our savior, our Lord and Savior, girl boss, omnipotent Galadriel, who is the biggest genius in the room and all men are stupid, knows exactly what to do about metalworking and ring crafting. And she knows that 1 will corrupt, 2 will divide, but 3 is outright. 3, there is balance. The powers we will forge today will be for the elves alone. And it needs gold and silver from her blade, and she doesn't separate the hilt because she doesn't know what hilts are. And then at this point, I assume that when they're crafting the rings and they put the gems in there. And by the way, so the one thing they get right in the episode is the rings look badass.
I like them.
And they're supposed to be like, holy fucking shit, that's badass.
But they're not supposed to wear them.
Yeah, they wear them.
They're not supposed to. Not till after this whole series is over.
Oh, okay. I don't know that part of the lore. I was assuming that Rings of Power is going to now have these rings be the things that protect the elves.
No, not really.
Without them having to be wrapped in mithril. These rings supplement that because they took the mithril that's supposed to wrap the elves and they couldn't put them in armor. So they made the rings, and then if they wear the rings, then it will form a protective shield bubble over. Can somebody explain?
I have no idea.
No, the show doesn't explain.
No, I don't know what
did we
they
just
were
forget about the
supposed to do with the
mithril
mithril.
idea?
No, it's
We're just
You just get it close to the leaf and it cures it.
makes
so.
the leaf go away.
No, I'm just asking because did they save some of the metal from forging the 3 rings? They have maybe another 2 ounces of metal that they can take one drip and put it in one armor and then do that, I don't know, 80,000 times and give the armor to the elves so that they can be wrapped by one drip.
I don't think
But you set it up. You set it up
you
and
did this
and then
yourself
you
and
and then
not
you didn't
following through.
and then you didn't follow through, or you didn't explain that the rings will supplement the power that we need, the 80,000 armors. Did I miss something,
No.
Alex?
No, I don't think so. I think that they said that because it's a circle, and with
Oh my God, I remember that explanation.
because now that because circles are good, and because circles are good, what happens is stuff goes forever,
It will
and that's what
forever
circles do. 'Cause
protect.
circles, if you keep going, it's like NASCAR, right? You just keep going, and you keep
Right.
going.
You
in a
don't- there's
circle
no
and circle,
gas.
and it
You
just
run
keeps
out of
going,
gas.
and that's what
No, there's
happens
no
with
gas.
the light. Because the
circle.
light of Valinor from the trees, because the trees got turned into the Silmarils, and
so
the Silmarils got
because
put
the
in a
light
tree,
is
and
in
the
a
tree got struck by
circle.
lightning, and then the Balrog lives by the leaf, and then the
then
light from the
the
rock
light.
make the circle, and the circle infinite ring,
Got
and
it.
it makes the black goo go away.
Got it.
Yeah,
That's what
but,
happens.
But
The rings of power.
but only if they're forged into rings and not armor.
Correct, because armor is not circle.
Right. And if it was not a circle, then they would have to create the 80,000 armors to wrap the elves.
Yeah.
But not if they're rings, because they will the light will constantly, infinitely be. That's the explanation. Like the writers are doing that in the writers.
Well, you could have
the
also
light
just made
will go
two mirrors.
and everybody in the writer room, yeah. No more explanation.
It's a great distraction. Is well, wait a minute. Well, he does make a good
I
point.
do make a good point. Excuse me.
Can't argue with that.
Right.
So if they made the mithril into 2 mirrors, they could have done the same thing. You just put like a flashlight between them, and the light will bounce back infinitely.
Bam,
and you just
done.
carry those 2 mirrors like this, and you just like infinite light. That's how it works. I've done it before at home with laser beams. You just
So the power, yeah. So then now they keep the rings for themselves. They don't say at that moment who's going to get them, because in the lore, King Gil-galahad gets one. Elrond, and King Gil-galahad then gives his ring eventually to Elrond. The other ring is Celebrimbor has a ring, and then they give the ring to Galadriel. So Galadriel has one. Gil-galahad one. Well, they don't do the shipwright in this fucking lore, which he's a badass. He's the one that makes the ship so the elves can go to where they go, but he's not in this, so I guess they're gonna give it to Celebrimbor, is what I was assuming. But in the lore, you're right.
I don't think they can give it to him. I think they're just going to give it to like a placeholder and eventually give it to Gandalf like you're supposed to. Because Celebrimbor gets tortured to fucking death.
Maybe they give it to Galadriel's husband when he shows up. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. Slamdolf has to get it eventually, so.
Right. He will. So Gandalf will get that particular ring
red ring,
eventually
yeah.
from the one in the shipwright character who doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
In this lore. So
Got
now we get the discussion that the now a fully fluent wizard is now talking with Nori. He's very eloquent and even is able to impart comforting speeches, and he says adventures must be shared. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, he started
You
using
went from I am good to
Duolingo, man. It's amazing stuff. He was just hanging out, and then he learned.
Jesus Christ.
It's like in 13th Warrior. It's like, how did you learn a language? I listened. That's exactly the same thing. He goes from I'm good to whatever this was.
So the Harfoots aren't going with him. Thank God. To what does he say? Room.
Yeah, it's the land
Run,
to the
run.
east. They know it's to the east. Everyone knows it's to the east, and he's just like, I don't know the way. It's like, do you know where this fucking sun is?
Let's go east.
We know where it is. I think they even said to the east.
No, because nobody knows.
When in
that.
doubt,
Nobody
Alex.
knows nautical directions or anything. Like the Numenoreans don't even know how to make ships.
No, yeah.
When
I guess.
in doubt, just follow your nose. Remember.
So her family has stuff ready for her to go to follow him. They're like, nope, you're part of something greater now. And she's like, what?
I was like, no, I don't need more of this.
Thankfully,
I
no
don't
more
want
Harfoots. What this means is no more Harfoots. No more Harfoots.
Except for Nori.
I can't
Forever.
stand Harfoots. Nori was the best of them anyway, so I will stand one Harfoot. If I have to deal with this shit in season 2, I will stand for Nori. I was a little worried that Femwise not Gimli,
come.
that's the dwarf.
Ganja.
Ganja, Sam Wise would wait. What? No, that's something else.
Samwise Ganja.
Okay, that
He's got a
sure,
great
that's
garden,
a
if you know what I
different.
mean.
That's a different story.
Yeah.
Probably would have been better than this story. But no, so Samwise, female Samwise does not go. I was worried that she was going to go Poppy, and she's like, no, you got to stay here. And I'm like, oh, fuck. No more singing. Poppy won't be singing every episode. Thank you. So, the music is doing all of the heavy lifting here emotionally. Man, this music is working overtime to make these horrible people seem whimsical and beautiful and so happy and everything. And I just hated it, you know. So anyways, they use the Mithril to forge the 3 rings for the elves, and Elrond finds a scroll on the water. I didn't understand this.
It's proof that Halbrand is not who he says he is because it's his family lineage and it died 1,000 years ago.
Oh, that was the scroll that said that his lineage was there. Okay.
So now Elrond knows
So
a
now
terrible
Elrond
secret
knows as well.
But he made her. She made him promise. And remember, other than all of the other promises that Elrond has already broken in this episode, where he's like, "Do the dwarves have Mithril?" He's like, "No, but I have this. Don't worry about where it came from." And Elrond Oathbreaker is definitely going to keep his word this time.
This is so stupid that this tiny little nugget is all the elves really needed, and now they're fine. I guess, right?
Cool, because
Are
they
they
didn't.
fine now?
Yeah, because they didn't know how to mix metal. They didn't know that you could mix metal.
But I'm still confused on whether they're fine now. Do they have enough
they're,
metal?
they're good. They're good. Trust me, they're good.
And the dwarves didn't even want to give them that much. Okay. Luckily, Durin is a bro, and he gave that much, and that's all the elves needed. That's so stupid. They are forged in different colors. How? I wrote. Oh, yeah, because the rings are in different colors, different metals, I guess.
They use different dice.
So Sauron Halbrand is smiling as he returns to Mordor. And they do
looks at the
another
camera.
They do another title thing. Mordor. Or they do Sauron.
Halbrand scratches out.
Or Halbrand. Sauron. And then on the other side, Southland. Mordor. Hey, man, that guy's working hard. He's getting paid, the titles guy, all right? So, yeah, that's it. So, I guess he can still be captured by the Numenoreans in the future, corrupt them, and turn them against the Valinor, and their island will be destroyed. And, frankly, I fucking want them to be destroyed. I want them to wipe that motherfucking island off the map because that is a fucking piece of shit fake Numenorean island. These are fake Numenoreans. I firmly root for Sauron, and thankfully, effectively, he wins the Second Age. Effectively, he wins the Second Age. So we have a story of Halbrand winning until Fellowship of the Ring, where he gets fucked up. Yeah, so what we have here is everything sucks. Galahad is a bitch. Tar Palantir. I almost forgot about that. Tar Palantir warns his daughter, or he thinks it's his daughter.
It's hot right now. Everyone's doing it.
I know, it's the House of the Dragon. If they don't restore the elves and start doing the elf thing, that the island will be destroyed, and they need to defeat Sauron, and so they need to Well, the island can't be destroyed until they defeat Sauron. So there's still some time there. But I guess what they're going to do is she's going to keep this secret. When Halbrand shows up, when they capture Halbrand, she'll be lured by the worshipings of Morgoth. I don't know what they're going to do with this daughter character. Do you know what they're trying to do here?
She's new. I don't know. She's gonna stare into a Palantir and go. They
Oh,
said
right.
that they
Did
lost.
show that.
Yeah, because remember, they're like, we don't know where they are,
Yeah,
and it's like, no, you
secret
do.
Palantir.
You know where they all of them are there because they have to be there because that's where the fucking Middle Earth gets them is when the faithful escape. That's what they escape with. But anyway,
They found a secret Palantir, so they weren't lost, and they were like, "Ha ha, you lore assholes." They weren't lost. We were just tricking you.
But they don't know. They only know where one of them is, and he can't tell the difference between what is now and what was, because it lets you see the past.
So yeah, the show. So many contrivances, you know. Like, I just can't get over that he finds her randomly in the ocean. I thought we were going to get to see what happened before. I thought we were going to get to see him on the ship.
If it was as ridiculous as you explained it, which was
It has to be.
logical.
That has to be it. Unless they're going to show it in season 2, they just comb right over it. There's so many plot lines not solved.
Yeah, that's
What
exactly.
happened on the boat before we met him? What's in the fucking pouch? Is it the one ring in the pouch? No, because he makes a one ring later. What is in the pouch?
It was nothing. It was just a pouch.
What's in the pouch?
The pouch was his proof that he was going to try to trick people he was king. That's it.
But what's in there?
But he told people he wasn't.
I thought the pouch was important.
The foreskins of his bears. Who gives a shit? Like, it's just a pouch full of stuff.
But you're being
What's in the
funny.
pouch?
What's in the fucking
But
pouch?
there's nothing in the pouch. It's just a pouch of shit.
Well, then why didn't they show us that there was a pouch of shit?
I don't.
They forgot about their own pouch?
They want you to see season 2. Find out what's in
What's
the
in the pouch?
Yeah,
That's all this show has is stupid mystery boxes.
Yes.
It's poorly resolved on even the ones that they do have. So the rings will cover the elves in light?
Yes.
What about the elves needing the light?
What about the other elves that don't live in London? You know, all the other ones.
We don't talk about those, Alex.
Why not?
Because it's complicated.
What else? All right. Finally, we do. So now we know that Halbrand is fucking Sauron. We all fucking knew it. All book readers knew it. Because the first time I knew it was Sauron was the second he went to Numenor and was like, I gotta forge. No fucking reason for him to forge. I gotta forge. Who forges? It's fucking Sauron. The rings, right? That's what I knew. This show telegraphs everything.
Dealt it.
So then, now they reveal the wizard is an Istari, and there are only 5 Istari. Okay? You fucking writers didn't even read the lore books, so don't fuck this up, because there's only 5. So this is either Gandalf, or there's an outside chance that it's a blue wizard. Okay?
I don't
Well,
think
It's
they
not
have
Saruman.
it's-
It's not fucking.
It's got to be Gandalf.
It's got to be Gandalf,
Because he
right?
says at the end,
What does he say?
if you're ever in doubt, just follow your nose.
Boom, Joe! I wrote it down. You even remember some of the fucking Lord of the
Yes.
Rings
I
moments
was
that
like-
they wholesale rip off from Peter Jackson without wanting Peter Jackson to be involved. Hey, we don't want you to be involved. We want to do our own things, but we're going to take your things. We're going to take them all, but we don't want you involved, who could have probably helped with this fucking disaster.
I want to get a GoFundMe. Like, can we just get everyone together and just be like, get Peter Jackson just like sit in front of a camera and just be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. They stole all his shit. They didn't want him to be involved because they probably knew that if he saw what they were making, Peter Jackson would be like, no, hey, everybody, check this out. That's why they didn't want him to be involved. So they're butchering the lore. I guess, so maybe they are still butchering the lore and they don't care that there's only 5, wizards. They're just going to make up their own original character. But no, I think it's because Joe, they dropped hints. There's hints dropped in this series that Halbrand was Sauron the whole time, and likewise, they dropped hints that he's Gandalf the whole time. And so, going by their own show logic, he should end up being Gandalf, which will mean he will. Because he even says the nose thing, he says the exact line that Gandalf says. He has an affinity for fucking hobbits because he met the horrible horrible Harfoots in the age that everybody said, get the fuck out of here for trying to help us.
Multiple times.
I don't know why he likes them. Nori. He has a thing for Nori, I guess. He wanted to bone Nori. But anyway, if this is Gandalf, that will mean that he will have to essentially lose or be defeated or be killed to come back later, right? Because
He's just going to fast travel.
he's not supposed to be in the Second Age. Or I don't know the exact writing. Somebody's going to have to look that up. Was he in the Second Age?
They show up on the boats later.
They show up on the boats later, so maybe, I guess, that's what I'm saying. He has to be defeated somehow, and then he leaves in defeat, maybe like Yoda, and then he comes back in the Third Age to help.
I don't think he ever
boat.
went to the east either.
So that's something new, because I did watch, somebody was saying, oh, that could be an interesting part in Season 2 when we see Rune, because that's not covered extensively in the books, and the person was always like, I was always wondering what the hell was in Rune. And so that could be something that this show fucks up in Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not wearing that shirt anymore. This is the Good Numenoreans. Check them out. I'll leave a link down below. Let's go ahead with final verdicts now.
Go ahead, Alex. You go first this time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it.
The episode 8 exclusively, and then we'll do the season.
I think that they try to do too much here. Now, what's kind of crazy is, like I said before, I think that this episode, had it been stretched out to 8 episodes, the series, I don't think would have worked for me as someone who like really likes the lore, but I think it could have worked for like generic people, for people who like fantasy, because I think that there could have been some stuff here that could have worked. I don't think they did it because they rushed everything together. I mean, the big thing is that they're showing you stuff out of proportion that doesn't make sense to me. It's like, we got 10 minutes of forging the rings of power. These aren't even the rings of power. And then we've got 20 minutes of Harfoots in this episode. It's like you're showing the wrong things, and you're leaving a lot of really cool things on the table. And I just don't think that they had a solid plan going into this. I have no faith in the future. I mean,
they shipped Galadriel and Sauron.
Well, we got a proposal. Like, Sauron proposed to Galadriel in a official Lord of the Rings TV show.
Yep. And they shipped them on a ship. They were on a raft.
Get it?
Yeah. And it's just wild to me, like, all of the weird decisions that they've made, and they just ignored all of the really good stuff. I mean, they took something beautiful and they turned it into dog shit. I've called this series a butt plug before, right?
That was amazing analogy. What was it again?
It's like taking Michelangelo's statue of David and breaking it down into white marble butt plugs. And some people are like popping them in and going, I enjoy it, because they don't realize what was destroyed.
Yeah.
And I think it's appropriate here, because like I see all these things and I can see people going, oh, I like that part. I like this part. It's like,
I like butt
you're going to like the Durin part because you don't know all the other things that were destroyed in order to make it.
Sure.
But I didn't like this. And I have no faith in the future just based on this episode. So I think that this is pretty far below average. I mean, and it's almost like downright insulting. So like normally I would give something like this like a 3, because it's like not just below average, but it's worse. I think I'm gonna give it a 2, because it's just so wild to me, like the weird fan fiction-y things, the CW drama things that they did with it. So I'm gonna go with a 2.
I was gonna go with a 3. It wasn't a satisfying cliffhanger. Like, I wanted to see more of Sauron, but instead we got the fucking Harfoots, and there was good visuals, but it wasn't. The story was still shit. Nothing happened. There's still many mysteries that's still left on the table. Like, what the fuck happened to all the 12 plots that we pointed out?
Right. None of those people. It doesn't matter.
So after that, like, I still don't care about the characters, but I'm just like, I don't want to see season 2. I'm not looking.
It doesn't make you excited for season 2.
It doesn't. Not at all.
What are we looking forward to in season 2?
Theo.
He walked away.
I don't want to see.
We made the power. The show could end right here. It's not like It's not like he walks and there's massive orcs and they're gathering and they're about to fight. But nothing is. What?
Nothing happened.
What are they teasing for season 2? A Balrog that's not supposed to awaken for 1,000 more years?
So I don't know what to expect. So I'm like curiously.
Okay.
I'm just curious what the fuck they're gonna do, but I don't want to watch it, but I kind of do.
I kind of do.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, Joe, I will make this admission. I was excited to watch this episode. I was like, oh fuck, is it 11?
I saw it 11 too.
That's fucked up. I think I was hate watching because it's
Because
like
they ruined everything, though.
how badly can you fuck this up? And they fucked it up. It's a 2. It's a 2 out of 10. It makes sense to somebody who doesn't know the lores is like, nah, it doesn't bother me. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't insult. This is insulting to somebody who's read the books or somebody who appreciates the Tolkien writings and lore. And a better story has now been butchered to a worse story. And you spend $500 million and you make something so small and so poorly written that it looks like just so infantile compared to Star Wars Andor, compared to House of the Dragon, compared to a lot of fucking shit. 2 out of 10. A terrible finale that does not make me excited for the future, that makes me worry that they're going to butcher more things, just lie more and make their own stupid. And Alex says the fucking butt plugs, but I think even a person, well, some people will be like, I don't like butt plugs. It's gross. You know, that's me. Or I like the analogy with the Jesus painting. You got the Jesus, and then you had somebody come in, and it's like, hey, we need to restore this. We need to make this good again for the next generation so that they can appreciate it. And the artist goes, no problem, I've got it. And then he's drawing, and he's like, I will do my own interpretation. And then he draws it, and then he puts it out. And that's the Jesus. And so even if you're fucking stupid, you can realize that this is not good, and it's really crappy writing. But if you're one of the people that I just like being entertained, I like seeing the noises and the flashing and the effects, then maybe you will like it. But I think it's more like that painting of Jesus. Anyways, so let's go to series as a whole. And a reminder here at the Angry Joe Show, you don't average all of our scores on each of the episodes, even though they have been adjusted. We take the entire thing, see where it's went, where it's potentially going. Did they tell all of their stories effectively, characters, everything, and we give it a final verdict. So just before we do that part, I will take an opportunity to give you my rating. So it was 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 6, the best and worst episode, the battle and explosion, and then 3, and then now 2. So, final verdicts, everybody. Season 1.
Season 1, I'm going to go with a 4, below average television. These characters are not really likable. Mm-hmm. There's no character arc. There's no chemistry between some of these. And this plot really, you don't know where the fuck it's going.
Yeah.
So, you're just left with more questions. Mm-hmm. And just, no, I don't like these characters at all. So,
massive 8-hour-long prologue. 4 out of 10?
4 out of 10.
Okay.
I didn't like the Harfoots. I didn't like the Southlands. 8 hours great. I think he was great. So that's an original character I think they did really well with. Arondir, great original character. They did nothing with him. And it's like you made a cool character, you didn't do anything with him. Yeah. Durin is amazing. Disa was great too. So there's some bright spots in this sea of awful. But overall, I don't think I liked. And there was no arcs. There was no developments that were satisfying. Ultimately, what we did is we had they dug a hole. They dug a bunch of holes, and instead of using like a troll and a shovel to break a dam, they went on this crazy MacGuffin quest. I don't like MacGuffins. I think they're fucking stupid. This was really stupid MacGuffin quest that dominated the first half of the season to like
amateurs
make some
amateur
water
writing.
Didn't like it. I don't like the Halbrand stuff. I don't like Sauron proposing to Galadriel. I don't like the Tempest inside of her. I don't like her being unwise, which she's supposed to be the wisest person. I don't like
arrogant,
the
genocidal,
the treatment of Gil Galahad, as you've been calling him. I can't unhear it too because now
Gil Galahad.
I know, but now we've talked about it so much that now when I think of him, I think Gil Galahad. Like you've infected my brain with Gil Galahad.
Good, because this is not the book version of the king.
I agree. I completely agree. And then it's like he's such a badass character, and they've done awful things to all of these characters, and it makes me sad. Like I've got the context. I understand what this could have been, and it's really disappointing. And I was really looking forward to reading like the Fall of Numenor in about a month. And I'm less excited every single day. Every single time I watch an episode of this, it makes me less excited about the entire world because it's so hard to compartmentalize when something's been ruined. Like you always think back Did you ever watch
memories?
Did you watch the Dragon Ball Z live action movie? Did you ever watch it?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch an episode of DBZ and just get a flash of that? And you're just like, it's like, what the fuck is that?
No, because I actually have managed to compartmentalize that completely until you brought it up.
Yeah, but it's
and now I'm seeing flashes of him in high school doing this stupid thing.
But it's wild when someone does something like M. Night Shyamalan does. Like M. Night Shyamalan.
Why you do that?
Yeah. Well, Avatar: The Last Airbender did the same thing, right? So it's like, my name is Ong. It's like, man, fuck you. It's so hard when someone ruins something so bad that it infects everything else.
It's gonna take some time.
And I don't know. I mean,
It'll take some time. You'll get that book and you'll be like, when you smell that book.
I still haven't forgiven Guillermo del Toro and Peter Jackson for The Hobbit and the travesty that came out in. Like, I'm not going to.
I still think The Hobbit is better. Those Hobbit films are better than this, man.
Like, there's some garbage, and so I hate the fact that I'm going to be thinking about this show when I'm reading the book in a month, when I was looking forward to it. And so not only does this not stand on its own and it's bad, but it is ruining things for me that I truly do love. So I'm going to take a couple extra points away. Normally I'd probably say this is probably 3 or 4 below average television, but I think that this is probably a 2 for me. It's took something that I really do love, and they completely and totally failed.
Amen, brother.
They tried to do their own thing and then ignored all the blueprints that were laid out for them, and that stuff is amazing.
Amen.
And fuck you, Donald. I should cancel the show. I mean, how do you Wheel of Time Lord of the Rings? Because they did the same thing with Wheel of Time. I stopped watching that
shit.
shit.
They probably did. I know. They probably did it worse here. So basically, 4-2. I had it pegged at a 3 out of 10. That's where it was. But when you grade on the curve, when you look at, Amazon's like, they win the fucking bid because they have the better idea. They have the respect. They have, no, that sounds terrible, Netflix. No, HBO, what are y'all doing? Y'all are dumb. This is who we're going with. And then Jeff Bezos says, I want Game of Thrones. I'm willing to throw as much money at this as possible. Who do they go out and get? Amateurs. Somebody who has fucking lied to us, lied to our faces, con artists, that they're not going to contradict the lore, and then they proceed to contradict the lore. They proceed to bastardize the lore. They proceed to make play with their own action figures. They come in, it's your fucking younger brother who comes in, your action figures are all nice and set up where you want them. He starts grabbing them, slamming them together, breaking them, putting his boogers on the fucking thing, and then you come in and you're like, ah! Or your fucking Legos. You remember that video, Joe, of the throwing the fuck? No. That's what it is. That's perfect. Yeah. So that Star Destroyer that you spend so much time building, right? How many pieces is that Star Destroyer?
Shit. Thousands.
We'll watch it get destroyed.
Thousands.
And that's basically what this is. So while I would have given it a 3, I think this deserves a 2 out of 10. This is fucking awful. It is a master class in what not to do in writing, even if you don't care about the lore. The dialogue is so awful. It's like, why can't you stop? Because I cannot stop. There is a tempest in me. There's no character arc for Galadriel. She's one of the most unlikable characters. It's constantly rewarded for a bad behavior. And I suppose that she was softened in the episode where she randomly walks off with Theo while letting people burn and die, and his potential mother is back there, and she's like, just come with me.
Just fuck it.
And then that's when she was supposed to be softened. Do not speak such words. It's like the dialogue is so bad. It's like, I've killed a lot of elves. Good. Do not speak such words. Good. You should not feel that way. No, she doesn't say you should feel that way. Do not speak such words. You will become dark. You don't want to become dark. I will murder your whole fucking race, and I will torture you and all your friends for the rest of your life.
Don't say that.
No, it's not addressed. It could have been addressed on the fucking raft if really Halbrand fucking manipulated her with his fucking Sauron dark magic when nobody was looking. They're out in the fucking ocean and that she touched the darkness. But now, no. Now she touched his dick, okay? In the darkness, she wanted that Halbrand dick, and maybe that's the darkness that infected her, and that's why she was acting like an asshole to everybody. I don't fucking know, because they're trying to ship the two. Now you're trying to fucking have Sauron and her, having this romantic intertwining, and that's why she couldn't tell that wait a minute, there's something wrong with this guy. I want him. And she couldn't tell. I don't fucking know. Well, she has a husband the whole fucking time. And and they're like, it's okay because she, her husband died a long time ago. That's what she thought. So she can lust after him. No. So he's just missing. Her husband is just missing. So her brother dies. She gives zero fucks about her husband.
Elves don't ever remarry.
Their hearts are given to one.
Yeah, because there's a chance that they will be eventually reincarnated, except for that one. And then people are like, well, there's the one elf. One elf remarried. And he had to ask.
He had permission.
And he had to ask God. And it's only because his dead wife said, I don't want to get reborn. And that is the only time it's happened. So she would not know.
Because elves can come back. So if your husband dies, and don't worry, wait a little while, you can come back. Yeah, and then you'll have your husband again. But here, so it's such a bastardized version so that they can do their CW drama, so that they could do their love triangle and stupid shit like that. And that is just awful because there was something better there. You butchered the Numenoreans. You shoved in the Harfoots, and you said that they were great people and with big hearts when you showed they clearly weren't. They were horrible people that would leave people behind. Everyone leaves them behind, and only jerks on the trail. I hated them.
Yep.
Yeah. This is just honestly will go down as one of the most expensive flops in history, and of what not to do. Fundamentally misunderstanding the source material that you're working with, taking something that isn't yours and making it worse. What was the point of it being in Rings of Lord of the Rings if you're going to contradict Lord of the Rings? They just wanted to use the corpse, the skin of it, and make their own thing because it's a license, and the license gets people to watch. But if, honestly, they would have made it their own world, it would have been a little bit better. The writings would have still been shit, but at least it would have been a little bit better. Because it's so weird. Like, something is established the very next episode, they contradict what they just did. It's because nobody's reading these scripts, I guess. Anyway, so it's a 2 out of 10. Season 1, 2 out of 10. And I am left not caring. I'm left, it diminishes my love for, the lore. And like Alex said, I'm still buying that book. I'm still going to read that book. We always have the Peter Jackson trilogy. We always have the writings of Tolkien. I have to keep reminding myself of that. But it just sucks that this newer generation is getting a worse version of it. And they think that this is, because when people think of Tolkien, they think of Peter Jackson. Why? Because that's mass market. Okay? Now when people think of Tolkien, they're going to think of Rings of Power. Because that's mass market and recency bias. And it's a fucking shame, and that's why it's a 2, guys. This is a travesty, and one of the biggest fucking crazy flops in TV history. I mean, they have Amazon behind. My packages show up with fucking branding, and it still cannot live up to House of the Dragon. It can't live up to fucking Star Wars Andor, which I'm sure is getting a fraction of the viewers. It's just... Why did you put these people in charge when they didn't have the pedigree? Why did you fire your Tolkien lorist? Why? Well, we know why you fired the Tolkien lorist, because he was like, stop doing this.
He was threatening to burn the building down.
I'll burn the whole fucking place down.
Stop this. Yeah. All right. So now, I guess, from what I've read, the season 2 is already in production as we're speaking right now. It actually starts like either yesterday or today.
Excellent.
And so that probably gives them no time to change their scripts and redo things. So we're going to get a season 2 of exactly the same of this kind of stuff. So I was hoping maybe they can do a course correction in season 2 based upon the reviews. But if you look at their interviews, they're saying you are all hateful and evil. You're inherently evil if you don't like the show, and you're all just racists, even though even the racists have shut up about that, and they're just complaining that the show sucks because the show sucks, you know? And everybody sees it except for people that just purely want something to play on the television so that they can just relax and just, but, you know, you're not watching something critically. You're not comparing it to other things. They just want basic entertainment, and this gives them that because it visually looks good, even though it's not epic. There's no set piece battles.
The music is epic.
The music is great. I will give it that, man. And I think it's because they used like one of the main guys that did the music.
I think Howard Shore only did the main title.
Okay, well then whoever's doing the music, doing a great job, and you can see it. Like those Harfoots goodbye, man. That music, that guy was working hard on that music to pull those heartstrings. And like I was like, man, this is great music, but I fucking hate these people on the screen right now. Anyways, so that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for going through this whole thing with us. And if you went through every single fucking episode, good on you. This review is now an hour and 37 minutes long, but it was the episode 8 review and the season review as a whole. I would love it. And it makes me so angry when people are like, I don't know what you're talking about. You just hate things. It's like we just literally put out 5 videos of things that we like. Go watch them. You know, we liked fucking, you know, just shut up. Shut up. I want somebody smarter than me with more time, with more fucking stamina, because I refuse, because it's like an everything wrong with Rings of Power video, but I don't want to watch 8 hours of this shit again.
It would just be you watching the series again because everything is wrong.
Everything is wrong. And that video would be like 5 hours long. I like remember when we did it for Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker.
Oh,
it was like 2 hours. This would be like 6 hours of wrong. And you could fucking bullet point it, dude. I want somebody with more time than us to do that. Especially it's like somebody who knows the Tolkien lore. All right. That's it for us. Thank you all so much. If you appreciated all our work with this, consider contributing to us, donating with the Patreon. Helps us make long-form content like this, these longer reviews. So hit us up on Patreon, hit us up on the YouTube join button, or subscribe and spread the word. Thank you all so much for enduring this with us, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.